Who are the best players on each AL team right now? When it comes to comparing players, there are a few standards that can be relied upon. For instance, Iron Man himself, Cal Ripken Jr.'s ability to start over 1,000 games stands as a testament to the player's greatness. Another measuring stick is the stats, a player's performance at the plate along with what they can do with the leather. 200 strikeouts, or 20 wins, is considered a milestone for starting pitchers, and any pitcher that remains perfect, like Mo Rivera for the Yankees, is immortalized. So, when it comes to selecting the best player on each team, there's gonna be some thought spent on the 5 tools, effectiveness on the field, longevity, and how they handle the marathon that is the MLB regular season. As of now, these are the players that come to mind days after the trade deadline. Let's start in the AL West, the Rangers. When it comes to the team from Texas, there's a core of 4 players that hold the offense together. Now, with the addition of Scherzer, some depth has been added to the roster. As for picking the best player, we have a choice to make between 5 different people. Second baseman Marcus Semien, first baseman Nathaniel Lowe, right fielder Adolis Garcia, and third baseman Josh Young. All 4 of them have over 100 hits this season so far. Flipping to the pitching side, we have right-handed pitcher Nathan Eovaldi with an 11-3 record, 2.69 ERA, 2 complete games, including a shutout performance, and over 123 innings pitched, featuring 111 strikeouts. That's why, for the Rangers, the best player is currently the starting pitcher, number 17, Nathan Eovaldi. The Astros. This team has had many players step up over the years and play the alpha role. Many times in the past, it was Altuve, but focusing on this year, we found a well-rounded team again. The pitching staff is solid and includes left-handed pitcher Framber Valdez, who confidently sports a 3.07 ERA, a pair of complete game shutouts, and over 140 strikeouts. Yet on offense, right fielder Kyle Tucker stands out from his teammates, with over 115 hits, over 390 at-bats, driving in a team-leading 74 RBIs, and snatching over 20 bags. He's also a solid player in the outfield, ranking 6th amongst his peers, with a fielding percentage of .995. The addition of right-handed pitcher Justin Verlander is juicy, but we still think that number 30, Kyle Tucker, takes the crown for the Astros. The Mariners. The Seattle-based team made some moves at the deadline and sent arguably their best pitcher, Sewald, to Arizona. So this one is easy. The best player is center fielder, number 44, Julio Rodriguez, who's got over 110 hits this season, 8 more than his teammate in second place, first baseman Ty France. He also has over 25 stolen bags and sports a top 10 fielding percentage among center fielders at .992, which comes in at 9th best in the majors. The Angels. Pre-Ohtani, the Angels' best player was the best player in the MLB, Mike Trout. When you combine all the things Ohtani's done this season as a pitcher and a hitter, there's hardly any comparison. As a hitter, in 401 at-bats, he has over 120 hits, scored 80 runs, hit nearly 40 home runs, while driving in 81 RBIs and snatching over a dozen bases. Then you add his pitching achievements on top of that, where he's accumulated over 20 starts with 120-plus innings pitched, resulting in over 9 wins. He also has a respectable .343 ERA, a complete game shutout, and over 150 strikeouts. To summarize everything I just said into one sentence, in the MLB, he's that guy right now. The Athletics. The A's were major sellers in the trade market a few days ago. In doing so, they slimmed their roster down and are taking a minimalistic approach. A quick peek at the pitchers reveals some cringe-inducing numbers, and are best left undiscussed. Moving on to the hitters, there's not much to look at until you find a speedster in center field, and then you see those 43 stolen bags. Taking a closer look, we find a young man at the age of 24 sporting a .257 batting average from over 80 hits, over 20 extra base hits, and that staggering 43 steals on 51 attempts. So currently, the best player for the Athletics would be center fielder, number 99, Esteury Ruiz. Let's move on to the AL Central teams. The Twins. Leading the American League Central Division is not easy. A look at the respectable starting rotation ERAs reveals a recent addition, right-handed pitcher Pablo Lopez, with a 4.01 ERA, and Sonny Gray with a 3.22 ERA. Yet none of them really stand out from each other statistics-wise. Team closer Yohan Duran has gotten over 50 strikeouts in under 42 innings of work, 18 saves in 22 attempts, and a 2.81 ERA, enough to stay in front of the other teams within this division. Then we see the best player, coming from the World Series winning Astros. Shortstop Carlos Correa is putting up a team-leading 378 at-bats, 34 more than the next best teammate, which resulted in 85 hits, 25 of which went for extra bases, a dozen home runs, and a team-leading 45 RBIs. Number 4, Carlos Correa leads the major leagues in fielding percentage at .990 and is the best player on the Twins ball club right now. The Guardians. This young Cleveland team has some hitters, 4 of which have already tallied over 100 hits this season. Left fielder Steven Kwan and third baseman Jose Ramirez have 119 hits apiece. But the third baseman recorded over 30 extra base hits, along with 18 home runs and 63 RBIs. Not to be outdone, first baseman Josh Naylor, with 110 hits, has driven in a team-leading 79 RBIs to this point. All 4 players have over a dozen stolen bases, but second baseman Andres Jimenez is leading the way, snatching 17 bags on 20 attempts, and he sports a top 10 fielding percentage in the majors at his position, after trading Aaron Savale to the Tampa Bay Rays. When it comes to pitchers, Emmanuel Clase is performing well, coming in successfully closing the door in 28 of 35 attempts, and sporting a 2.96 ERA. All things considered, number 0, second baseman Andres Jimenez is arguably the most valuable player on the Guardians roster. The Detroit Tigers. This team is filled with multiple position players, many of them younger in age, and this can be seen by the lack of hits being produced by this Motor City team. First baseman Spencer Torkelson leads the way with 92 hits, but also 110 strikeouts at the plate. Just behind him is shortstop Javier Baez at 90 hits. To find the best player, you'll have to flip over to the pitchers, where we find the staff's ace, with 2.96 ERA, 7 wins in 16 games, and hovering around the 100 strikeout mark, even with being out due to injury since June. The man we're talking about is number 57, Eduardo Rodriguez, who's currently the Tigers' best asset. The White Sox. Eloy Jimenez would be considered the most well-known player, having participated in the Home Run Derby during the All-Star break. Yet he's 5th in hits, behind the leaders, Luis Robert Jr. with 109 hits, and Andrew Benintendi at 107. The difference is that Luis Robert Jr. has had better yields for what he's sown, scoring over 70 runs, tallying over 29 extra base hits, and leading his team with over 60 RBIs. After some deliberation, it's clear that the 7th-ranked fielding percentage of .993 by number 88, Luis Robert Jr., makes the difference, giving him the title as the White Sox best player. The Royals. The team sold their fireball launcher, left-handed pitcher Aroldis Chapman, to the Rangers, which started a frenzy of movement. But in doing so, they removed arguably their best pitcher from the roster. Their lineup features one of the best catchers in the league, Salvador Perez, who has 93 hits at this point, 18 doubles, over 15 home runs, and 45 RBIs. Strong numbers, but as if to be done out in each category by the shortstop, Bobby Witt Jr. has recorded 118 hits through 108 games, with a total of 439 plate appearances. The Royals shortstop has over 25 extra base hits, including over 5 triples, 19 homers, and a team-leading 64 RBIs and 31 stolen bases. That's why Kansas City's best MLB player is going to be number 7, Bobby Witt Jr. And now we go to the AL East. The Orioles. The addition of Jack Flaherty from the Cards provides the O's with a much-needed boost at the starting pitcher position. The catcher, Rutschman, represented the Orioles in the Home Run Derby, with the 4th best fielding percentage at .994. He also leads the club in hits with 108. Right behind him in hits would be the right fielder Santander with 103. In addition, he leads the team in doubles, home runs, and RBIs with 28, 19, and 62 respectively. Flipping back to the pitchers and taking a closer look at the bullpen, we find a couple of pitchers that are making waves. Right-handed pitcher Yennier Cano holds a masterful 1.93 ERA in 51.1 innings pitched. But at the same time, we have number 74, Felix Bautista, who, in 51.2 innings, has struck out over 100 batters and sports a 87 ERA. The Rays. The Tampa-based team is loaded with young talent. Jose Siri is one of those players, and he smashed over 20 homers. Shortstop Wander Franco and right fielder Josh Lowe are both speedsters with over 20 stolen bases. But it's the shortstop who's recorded 109 hits at this point. Matching that hits total is Yandy Diaz, who's hitting a very nice .315. But that doesn't compare with third baseman Isaac Paredes' home run total of 21. The pitching staff has a pair of 10-plus win starters that each sport a .300 ERA. Zach Eflin and Shane McClanahan. Then we have home run derby representative Randy Arozarena, who has a perfect fielding percentage, is third on the team in hits with 96, has 18 home runs, and leads in RBI with 64. Fitting for debatably the best player on the Rays is number 56, left fielder Randy Arozarena. The Blue Jays. They are good players, best players on a team, and then there are the best in baseball. Toronto has the current home run champ, Vlad Guerrero Jr. The Blue Jays have a nice mix of veterans, like third baseman Matt Chapman, young guns like shortstop Bo Bichette, and newly acquired infield specialist Paul Jejong. Still, there's no doubt the best player here is number 27, first baseman Vladimir Guerrero Jr., who sports a .265 batting average over 400 at-bats, resulting in over 100 hits, over 20 home runs, and over 65 RBIs. The Red Sox. The Sox have a serviceable stable of starters, relief pitchers, and a solid closing pitcher, Kenley Jansen. The team's not littered with gold glovers, but the lineup does contain 4 players with over 100 hits. Left fielder Masataka Yoshida with 113. Designated hitter Justin Turner with 112. Right fielder Alex Verdugo with 103. And the best of them would be number 11, third baseman Rafael Devers, who's the team's third best in hits at 104 and runs at 58, but leads the team in home runs at 25 and RBIs at 76. That's why we think that this third baseman is currently the best player on the Red Sox roster. The Yankees. There are many people that'll point to right fielder Aaron Judge, who does have 20 home runs, even after suffering an injury midseason. But the statistics don't lie. The starting pitching has been really hit or miss. From starting pitcher Domingo Germán conducting a perfect game to the last place spot they find themselves in. Arguably the best pitcher in the league, which is backed up by him being the All-Star Game's starting pitcher, is number 45, Garrett Cole. He has 10 wins and a .264 ERA spread over 23 starts, one of which was a complete game shutout. 157 strikeouts while completing 143.1 innings is a mark of excellence. Alright, who do you think are the best players in the AL for each team? Let me know in the comments. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video.